All right, welcome back. We're on day number 2. I'm super excited to share this information with you because it's one of my all-time favorite ways to buy deep discount deals. And it's from a certain class of people or population that will never go out of style, it'll never end. That type of seller is the elderly. Now, I'll give you a couple examples of why the elderly sell at deep discount deals. And actually, before I do, I want I would say probably 75%, maybe even 80% of the off-market deals we buy are from people that are in their later years, that are to the point where they just don't care that much about accessing all of their equity, right? Once they get to a certain age, just kind of position yourself in their shoes. Why would they not really care about getting all of their equity out of the house? Well, the main reason is because, and it might sound bad, but they don't have a lot of time left. And they're not worried about spending their money on stuff, right? The elderly, once they get to this point, they're most focused on being comfortable their final years, however many years that is. So they're not looking to necessarily get top dollar. They're not trying to make sure that their house is in remodeled condition to get top dollar, anything like that. One of the reasons the elderly sells at a discount is because their houses are out of date, okay? So, when you think of a lot of the elderly, especially right now, it's 2021, a lot of the elderly grew up in the Great Depression. So their perception of what a house needs to be or their standard is probably not the same as you and I, right? They did not feel the need to fix things up. They did not feel the need to fix something that wasn't broken. They did not feel the need to have something that looked new and up to date and flashy and all that stuff. They looked for functionality. So many of these houses built in this era that they owned, a lot of times built in the 30s up to like the 1970s, kind of in that time frame. Oftentimes have not had many improvements over the years, aside from maybe the major stuff, right? Electrical upgrade, HVAC upgrade, a roof here and there, stuff like that. But they generally have not had full kitchen updates, bathroom updates, flooring, paint, all that stuff. So that's one reason they oftentimes sell a discount, is because when we can bring that to their attention, they understand that this house is going to need tens of thousands of dollars of renovation. And then 2, they oftentimes have lived, usually lived in their house for decades, right? The average time frame a person lives in their home now is between 5 to 10 years. The elderly generally lived in their house for decades, 30, 40, 50 years, okay? It's almost always paid off. And what they paid for the house back when they bought it versus what they can sell a house for now is generally, they're oftentimes doubling their investment, right? So here's an example, one that I had purchased not too long ago. The couple had purchased for around $75,000. And this was a nice house, nice neighborhood. They had purchased for about $75,000, and I gave them an offer of $135,000. So they were actually thrilled, right? They were happy with that offer. And I wholesaled it. My buyer fixed up the house, sold it for $260,000. Okay. But they were thrilled because they basically doubled their money on that house, right? They had done some upgrades to it over the time, but they made a great return. So they weren't offended by that offer. In fact, they were happy about it. So those are a couple reasons why the elderly sell at a discount. And like I said, the main one is because they're moving on with their life, right? They're in their final stage. They're not worried about trying to get the most out of their house so that they can go buy another one. They're focused on downsizing and consolidating everything possible because they know that their time is limited. All right. Now, where do the elderly go when they sell? Well, they generally go to a nursing home, an assisted living facility, or an independent living, depending on their age and their health. So it's essentially those three resources that you want to go to, and you want to build relationships with the people there, the staff. Okay, you want to become their preferred person that they send their clients to when their clients, the elderly, go there and apply, and they need to find their next home, their care. You want to be that person that the staff sends them to. Okay, again, we've talked about this third-party credibility. So you have massive credibility as the trusted home buyer when they're sending their clients, their applicants to you. Okay, massive credibility. And we already talked, the elderly don't necessarily need full dollar. They're not expecting that. They want the house sold. They want the house sold fast so they can take that money and go buy the care that they need. One thing to keep in mind is a lot of times the assisted living facilities, independent living, nursing homes, they will, when a house sells, that money will actually go into an escrow account in those facilities that then just gets deducted month after month after month after month when that person is staying there. So the facility has interest in them getting their house sold. Does that make sense? That the facility has interest in them selling. The facility wants that house sold so that the applicant can afford to reside there. So they need people like you and I to work with to refer them to. Does that make sense? All right. So how do you approach these people? So first of all, you want to probably approach somebody that's more in like management. Okay, if you go have a conversation with one of their employees or one of their caretakers, that's not going to be the person that's going to refer business. You want the person that's in charge of taking the applications, the person that's in charge of onboarding and approving the applicants, the residences, so that they can refer you to them. All right. Another thing that you want to do is figure out how you can donate. Okay, figure out how you can spend time there. If they have, a lot of these places will have activities that they do in the evenings or in the afternoons or once a week, whatever. They might end up catering. They might have dinner parties. They might do stuff like that. By you asking how you can donate, whether that be some materials, whether that be a little bit of time or something, you are essentially one of their trusted people that is not only receiving their clients, but you're also helping out, right? It's that reciprocation. So very, very important to do that. Focus on giving back, and ask if if they have any care packages or gift packages that they give to their clients or their new residences once they get approved, and see if you can get some material in there, right? Brochures, business cards, flyers, gifts, anything like that, to where they have them, and either one, they're going to be using them to call you to buy the house, or potentially they're going to be giving it to somebody else. Because look, a lot of these older people, they hang out with older people, right? They hang out with that same age group, and when they're getting approved somewhere, oh yeah, I just got approved at such and such facility. Mark Lane from Lane Investments bought my house. He was able to pay cash and close quickly, got me in there, right when I got the approval. Guess what? They're having that same conversation with the people they have coffee with or the person they have breakfast with. Okay. So make sure you have something in their care package to where they can give that or refer that off to one of their friends. All right. So this is a huge opportunity. One reason it's so big is, the generation we're in right now, we have the baby boomers and their parents right now are in these facilities, right, and going into them. And the baby boomers are to follow. The baby boomers are maybe just starting to go into some of these facilities, more of like the independent living. But we have a massive influx of population that's going to be needing this care over the next 20 years. So unbelievable opportunity in this age group. And even beyond, we all get older. So we're all going to need some type of care like that. So this opportunity will never, ever go away. And probably most importantly is nobody's doing it. I mean nobody. Like, I don't know a single person that's doing this aside from myself. So if you work this avenue, this isn't necessarily something where deals are going to happen immediately, but once you build this network of dozens or hundreds, depending on how the size of your city, and you have all these different connections and people, them sending the elderly your way to buy the house, it'll be a massive, massive opportunity to do some deals. So, all right, guys, this is day number 2. We're on day number 3 tomorrow. Be sure to keep an eye out for your email, and I will see you on the next video.